Larry Hokenettle.
Eva Karlstrom.
Dan Horn.
Scott Meredith.
Elaine Woodhurst-Sloat.
Jerry Ogburn.
Okay, now the posting of agenda.
Thursday at 7 o'clock on the 19th.
Okay. Now, we have looked over the minutes. Do we have we don't have any minutes. So we can't approve what we don't have, right? So, okay, we'll put those till the next meeting. Communications, public comments. This is the time when any of you may speak for 3 minutes. If you should, you just come up and stand at the end of the table and can tell us what you would like us to know about VillageFest. Okay. No one wishes to. Written communications. Do we have any of those? No? Okay. We'll move on to report section. Any board reports? Staff? This is time for public reports. You're all just being so cooperative out
Could
there.
we go back to board reports?
Surely. Yes, sir.
I have a short report. I was down at the event last Thursday, and it seemed real swap meetish to me. Looked real dirty. There's some of our vendors were sitting on the ground, and it just looked very unprofessional. And I think we need to try to do something to get a handle on it before it gets any worse than what I saw. I mean, it was real bad. I don't know why, it just looked real bad. So we need to maybe as a group get together and go down and really police it and start cracking down a little bit. So we have a lot of items that are illegal. And I don't think it's up to what our expectations are of it right now. And maybe it's just we're rolling over after, the summer, which, but still that shouldn't make it any different than what it should be. So I think.
What do you mean by people sitting on the ground?
Well, we had a vendor, I don't want to name any names or anything, but they're doing their operation, they're sitting on the ground and is a tattoo thing. It just looks sort of
Well, then I
not
guess
what our standards are.
it's time to get down there again, like we did before the summer, and take a
Yeah.
walk and
Yeah.
investigate.
Yeah, because we can't expect staff to do everything. They have their hands full with just trying to collect all the fees and get everybody where they're supposed to be. And so I think maybe we need to step in a little bit more and chase some of this problem down.
I agree. And we should have an inspection, so to speak, and walk it like we did right before the summer
Right. Yeah.
with Elaine if she can. We will schedule that.
What week do you want to do it? Next week.
Sooner the better.
Yeah, let's do it
We
this
need to
week.
shake it
Sounds
up.
good.
Let's do it this week, yeah. Because on October 4th, I got to move all those vendors for Rocktoberfest on the 11th. So let's do it, because I'll be busy doing that. So all those vendors between,
Okay.
have to.
Okay.
South of arenas have to be all juggled around for that Rocktoberfest. So let's do it this
Right.
week, and that way we get it going.
Okay, so then you could post it as, because if all of us are together, it's going to have to be posted as a meeting. Because only 2 of us can meet at one time per the Brown
I'll check
Act.
on that. So if it needs to be
Okay.
posted, I'll post it.
Well, it's not, no, okay, I don't.
Not really
I
a
don't-
meeting,
yeah, I
it's
don't
an
know,
inspection.
yeah.
I'll check on it from the city clerk and see what needs to be done. If it needs to be posted, I'll post it.
We've done it with more than 2 board members before, haven't we?
I don't know, usually 2.
Yeah. I think it's 2 is the Brown Act.
Well, yeah,
Um,
if you're having a meeting.
yeah.
I would like to go on that as well, because I think Elaine catches a lot of the flack from the vendors when she tries to enforce the rules, and I get the calls.
Right, right.
And about how unfair we are and all that, and they tell me what they've been doing. I say, well, you're breaking a lot of rules. That's
Yeah.
basically the problem.
Yeah.
So I'd like to be on that, if that's
Okay.
all
We
right.
handle
yeah.
those ones.
Yeah, so we could determine where we're all going to meet and
What time? At the booth?
Yeah, at 7 o'clock. right when
7
it
o'clock.
starts.
Is the sun down at 7?
These days it
Is
is.
that after
So
Yes,
7
7
o'clock,
o'clock.
in front of my booth.
Okay.
Clipboards in
So-
hand.
So, how many's gonna come? You can come? For sure.
Yeah, I will.
Come?
Yeah,
I'll do
You
my
come?
best.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
make
we'll
it.
Okay.
try to have everyone there.
All four? Okay.
yeah, because,
So just so I know-
yeah, so if all of us could be there would be best.
Right, just so I know
So,
for
you know, if
sure.
there's any heat, we're all taking the heat.
Right.
There shouldn't be heat.
Last time, we got in a lot of heat.
Well, if everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing,
Okay.
okay?
Follow the rules.
So is there any way also, you know, they all have their yellow cards? That,
Well, the-
when I was down
the
there
new
too, I only saw a couple
Well,
out.
that's because they don't probably have them out.
Yeah,
The only
so-
ones that won't have them is the new ones, which I'll make sure they have them
Okay,
by that day, so they'll
Yeah.
have them before 7 o'clock.
yeah, so if, you know, they're all sort of, well, you really don't want to warn them either.
I won't say anything, I'll
Yeah,
just hand them their
yeah,
yellow cards.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Or my staff can hand them yellow cards, or whatever, we'll
Yeah.
get those all passed out.
okay,
So,
okay, great, thank you.
And do the, when they're passing them out, I was wondering if they all have the rules and regulations.
if they have an application, they have the rules and
Okay.
regulations.
It doesn't matter how long they've been there, you don't, I just could see that somebody's going to say that they don't know what the
Well,
rules and
they're all gonna say
regulations.
that, but that's
Yes.
the point. Yeah, that's an extra copy.
Yeah.
But they're all gonna say that, the ones that are in violation, they're all
Yeah.
gonna say they don't know the rules. If they were.
But I just
if they
think
were
that.
approved on Tuesday, they're gonna say they don't know them on Thursday.
Yeah, but if you had them to the offenders, they would get a set of rules and regulations right then, so there wouldn't be any question as to you know, what they were
We can
being
have-
questioned.
Yeah, I'll just bring extra copies,
Yeah.
that's not a problem.
Okay,
And two, also, isn't, their application is in the rule book, correct?
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah,
When they get an
so,
application, they
yeah.
get the rule book, so they can't
Yeah,
say they didn't get
it's
the
all
rules
in
and
one packet,
regulations, but,
right,
right.
yeah.
And then they have their yellow cards that tells them what they're allowed to sell, so, but they're still gonna tell you they don't know what they're
oh,
supposed to be doing.
surely,
So we'll just take it along and go from there.
Yeah, okay.
because people that break the rules always know the rules, because they know how to break them. If everyone spent as much time breaking, anyway, all right. Anyone else? Okay. Now we have the election of the chairperson. And I think at this time, too, we should also elect a co-chairperson. So we have that out of the way also. So is there, I don't know how we've always done this, is there someone that
Just
like
open it for nominations.
nomination, put their name in the, would like to?
The Name in the hat?
Oh, yeah. Does everybody want to? Is there somebody that doesn't want to?
Well, certain people have been on this board longer than others,
Yes.
so I would nominate Larry Hocknadel to be chairperson,
I second.
Okay,
if he wants the position.
I could do that.
okay. Sounds good to me. It's been named second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Larry. Now let's,
Chairperson, or co-chair.
yeah, let's get a co-chair. And I think this would be a good one for one of our newer people.
I nominate Scott
Okay?
as co-chair.
I'll
I-
second Scott.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Scott's co-chair.
Okay.
So we've got that handled. So when Larry breaks a leg,
I'll have to run the meeting.
just don't be absent on the same days. Okay, very good. So
Carry on.
you want me to
Go
carry
ahead.
on?
No, you
till-
finish that one. Yeah, finish this one.
Okay. Now we're going to have the application for consideration of reviews of your things. When your name is called, you will come up here and stand with your back to this, the blue curtain, and speak into the microphone here. It'll pick you up. And you're on television, so remember what you say and do. All your friends and neighbors see this. We are in a family event, so we appreciate all things are for the family, And what we do is, if we go by certain rules and regulations, this is a juried show. So what we ask, the questions we ask is if that you are meeting the qualifications. And when that is, that's why we're asking these things. If they don't meet the qualifications, then we cannot approve you. Has nothing to do with personalities. When you are approved, Elaine will call you tomorrow and set up everything that you have to know. So you don't have to worry. If you don't have your license or something, if we're done before 5, you can go down the hall and get those. So when your name is called now, just come up and speak and we'll get started. Okay. First one is Paul Brown. First one.
Sorry I didn't contact you earlier, Lane. I think we still have some of my products, but if this looks familiar to you at all.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know exactly what we're looking for to start out.
Pass them around.
That is all handcrafted by myself. Everything's purchased. Yeah,
I'm blonde. It takes me a few extra seconds.
but you got it though. That one does have a magnet on it. That one is magnetic, obviously. I do have some that I do put on stands, other ones with small hooks on them so they can be hung up.
Can you cut all these out yourself?
Yes. They're all done on a scroll saw.
And the springs you just,
Springs are purchased.
and then you wire them on.
Do they come in different sizes, or is this?
Yeah, I do them in different sizes. That's just basic small size. Nice, easy to make. Actually, smaller ones are actually a little bit harder to make.
Do you have photos in there?
Yes, I do. If you like.
Do you sell these anywhere else? Are you in any other shows? or-
No, I don't. Nope, this is obviously something that's got to be pretty much sold in this area here.
So your whole booth would consist of this one product?
As of now,
Different
yes,
sizes?
yes.
How many of these do you have? Would you have in your booth, say?
I would like to do at least about 100 of them. At least one big 8-foot banquet table.
You hear a lot of jokes.
A few.
So where's Alpine, California?
It's out in San Diego.
So this is just something you got an idea to do for Palm Springs?
Yeah.
Or do you do it anywhere else with other plays on words?
No, it's actually kind of hard on a lot of other words, but I mean the city just works out to be perfect. We vacation out here. A lot of times I do set my vacation times around to come out during VillageFest, so
Nice.
I like to stay the Thursday through Sunday.
It's definitely unique, and it says Palm Springs.
Yeah.
That's what
And-
you can say.
I think you should give it a shot.
I think it looks a little crude.
Okay, I do. The other thing is I do plan on, I can lacquer them up a little bit more, make them a little more glossy. The other thing is I am going to get a rubber stamp to put on and stamp the actual city name.
I think if you could paint them, do something more artistic with them, put more work to them.
Mm.
I think this kind of fits into a category like Larry was talking about. It looks a little carnival-like.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
I would point out that in the past, there has been a local gallery downtown selling sculptural pieces that are the spring with the palm on top. So the play on words it's not the first time it's been done.
Oh, I think it's
In this case, it was a piece of sculpture, which is quite nice.
No, the idea of the palms, That's just my opinion of
Okay.
it. Oh,
They do look a little unfinished, like it just, like you were saying, a little glossier, a little more finish and artsy.
Right, now I do have some that the springs are painted on there, they do,
well, maybe
They
if
do
you,
look a little-
well, let's not go into it. Do we have somebody want to make a motion? We got to go somewhere. We got places to go and things to do.
Well, what we're looking after more is a little more hand art on them per se, or, they're all handcrafted.
Right, I'm on
You
that.
know, it's not a problem with being handcrafted, it's,
It's just they aren't too creative.
If the springs were painted and they were a little
Or maybe
more
the board
glossy.
could be sand,
Yeah.
sandy looking, the palm, you could have something, maybe airbrush them a little bit, make them look just a little more,
right.
in my opinion.
well, I agree with you, Dan.
Well, then make a
You know,
motion.
maybe bring another,
Give it a try and another.
well, I'll make a motion that, you know, I don't want to per se decline it. I want to give them a chance to elaborate a little more into it, bring it up a couple notches. You know, you have maybe a couple ideas you can do with it.
Certainly.
Would the motion be for postponement, say, or just, well, denial?
Denial,
You
we'll bring it back.
Deny, okay. Motion to deny, work on them, come back.
Do I hear a
Sorry.
second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You've been denied this time.
Okay.
But I think you have a great idea,
Mhm.
but just a little more craft and arts to it.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
thank
right.
you. Bring it back, we'd love to look at it.
The other thing is, are you guys accepting food vendors at all, or?
No,
Okay.
we're all booked up right now.
Okay.
Thank you. LA Police Foundation, raffle tickets.
They're not here, but you can just look at it.
Oh,
You want to come down here and sell raffle tickets to get a hazardous duty mobile robot for LA. So I think,
And what does our police,
well, I'm thinking, you know, that probably if anything needs to be done, you know, it needs to be done for our own.
well, I kind of think so too. There's only so many dollars to go around, and
Elaine?
so let's see. What, do I hear a motion on approval, just approval of the Los Angeles Police Foundation?
I'll make a motion, we disapprove. We're having a hard time doing enough for our own police and fire department and mounted police. I don't think at this time we're in a good position to let somebody else in and
Okay. Do I hear?
be fair to our own people.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor of declining, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that was declined. Okay, our next one is about time. Wooden clocks and music boxes.
Handcraft wooden clocks, just the cases. The clockworks are purchased, hands are purchased. Some of the faces I do make myself on different models. Have a couple here, would you like to see? They're all out of domestic and imported hardwoods.
So you've cut all the,
I've made all that,
everything?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I do various styles. Some are intricate, more intricate like that. Some are basics. This is out of burl.
Are each one of your pieces one of a kind?
Yes, I prefer to do one-of-a-kind type items. I get bored doing the same thing, so I do try and stick to one-of-a-kind. Some do have chimes. They do get larger. They do get smaller. One of the little larger clocks. Maybe a little large to pass around, but all the cases I do make. I don't have one with me that I've done the dial myself. That dial is purchased also.
You paint the,
I haven't done
The
some of
background on
painting. Not on this one,
so
no.
your,
No.
all of your work is the woodwork?
Woodworking
Then put everything
portions.
together?
On some of them, I do have, where I have stones in place of the numbers, different type of stones on the face.
That
I
you've done
haven't-
yourself?
Yes, I haven't
Okay.
got into painting yet. That's a bit much right now. I do have some pictures, other pictures, if you like to see more clocks.
How about
There's
some
a
couple
variety.
pictures of you
Yes, I
putting,
do.
building
Different
them?
clocks I've made. And there's some music boxes in there.
Where else do you show your clocks?
I've been to the Orange County Marketplace, and we have a local place in Diamond Bar, Farmers Market. I have been there. I'm just getting started on showing. Here's a picture of another clock I'm currently doing. That's a big wall clock. Working on cutting out some of the pieces.
Big band
Fitting this clock together. I was working on it this time. Say when.
Okay, that's pretty much proof that you're doing it.
Did you look at his hands?
I've got all my fingers still.
Larry's our builder here, so
Those
are you
a few-
thinking about these little chairs and things?
I
too?
have made those, if that's appropriate.
Well, they're handmade, they're
Oh,
custom,
yes,
you
they're
saw them out.
handcrafted. The teddy bear rocking chair I made for my granddaughter.
That's cute.
It's
Thank you.
cute.
Very cute.
This little cradle.
I made that for my granddaughter also.
Yeah, those are all things
Lucky
that are
girl.
interesting.
I want to see her
But she's
room.
got a few other items.
Yeah.
The shop is in your home.
Yes, sir.
Do we have an,
Does it look good?
yeah, looks just to me.
I'll make a motion that we approve It's About Time, but I think on your application, we need to add the chairs,
Mhm.
if you want to be doing those.
All right, the chairs, music
The
boxes,
chairs and
right?
whatever other
cradle.
items you want to be.
There's some
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
music
Yeah,
boxes.
it should be added on your,
And music
Handcrafted
boxes is
also.
on there, so
Application.
chairs, how about cradles?
And
in
just
case.
put cradle in case you
Right.
want to whip one of those out for them.
Otherwise, yeah, it's better to have it on
yeah.
there.
That way, if we come down there when we're policing,
Okay.
everything that is on your yellow card is on your table.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Elaine will contact you and give you the details tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Soul Glass jewelry made from fused glass, wood chimes, and glass mosaics.
Big assortment.
I started to do the earrings because I needed a break from cutting glass. So I get the driftwood, and then I'll change it up. And I fuse the glass two pieces always on the chimes. They sound nice. Sometimes I bend them or use the thicker glass. You want to pass it or?
Yeah.
And then the mosaics.
So you
The
bought
clock.
bought the glass, or you?
Oh, yeah,
you-
I buy the sheets and then
Okay.
cut it. And then
Okay, so you've
fuse
cut it and ground the edges
Yeah,
smooth and all
yeah,
that?
and
Okay.
then fuse it.
It's interesting, we get people from farther away, Playa del Rey.
Yeah. Well, I've been used to going to Huntington Beach, and it got way too flea markety over there. So I wanted to get out.
So
So-
on this now, tell me, you cut this glass.
Yeah. Yeah. From
and
the
how
big
do you
sheet.
get how do you get this little circle in here?
Oh, piece of copper, I bend it, and then put it between the two pieces of glass.
Oh, and then
Then
melt
it
them?
melts all together.
Oh, I get it, okay. You put the bead on
And then
it,
I-
Infuse it.
Uh-huh.
and then you
Yeah, and then I
fuse
put
it,
the-
and then you put it on the driftwood.
Yeah, put the little crimp beads
And then
on,
they,
because the knots,
uh-huh.
maybe they'll break.
Mhm.
And then the mosaics, here's a clock. I'm
Oh,
really
clock.
uncomfortable doing this.
I didn't even see it was a
Yeah,
clock.
I see the hands, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Look more like a face.
Kind
Yeah,
of made
it
them
really
look.
did. Exactly.
Wanted them kind of to be sort of like faces. It needs to be tightened up again.
So how much does this churn sell for?
Oh, I've been selling those at the beach for 42. I made some last year that I put on the driftwood that I found, and I sold so many of them. And then this one, I cut all the glass off of, the whole sheet. So all the colors of the glass go in with everything. This one I just did to be subtle like this. And then I have darker color ones that I put copper around. And they're all that size. Every one of them.
So all of, like this clock would be one of a kind?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything I do.
Just,
I probably should stop doing that, but that's the way I like to do it.
You know what we need you to do is sign.
Oh,
your-
sign them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that. I should do that. I think because I'm just now I have stuff in 2 stores, and then another man buys from me and sells in Newport Beach of the earrings, so it's just because I'm now getting out, I think. I put the earrings up on these, so this is a little idea. So I buy the beads and then bend all the wire. So there's like 37 different styles altogether.
So all of this wire, every loop and bend is your
Oh, yeah.
work, correct?
Yeah, so I match the pairs, I bend them together.
Okay, all the
So
little
each pair-
loops and all that.
Yeah, so there's
Okay.
one of my favorites. Jetsons. Yes,
Jetson.
so I think there's about 37 different styles I'm up to now with those. Because becomes a mood thing and whatever color the bead looks like too, how I want it to look.
Okay.
I went to a store yesterday and sold some, so those are still up on the stand. I sent photos, but they're the different beads. I get the beads from somewhere else now because I like these.
and
much
these
better.
earrings you sell for how much?
Oh, 14. And then one store sells them for 26, and then one store sells them for 18.
Where are the stores that sell them?
One in Manhattan Beach and then one in North Carolina. And then the man that buys from me, he sells them in Newport Beach for 27. Which I haven't
So
done.
any one of these earrings you would sell for what?
Yeah, the pair?
Mhm.
Oh, here, probably 14 or 15. That's all. Oh, and this is new, the PMC too, so it might be a little crude. I have the drawings. So I was gonna ask if I do the beads, which I made the beads, and then the pendants, and then hang them on rubber or leather. Is that,
So you've made the beads?
yeah, yeah. It's the PMC.
Okay, so it's, okay.
Yeah, so if I,
So actually the bead is wire.
no, it's clay.
Clay?
Silver art clay.
Okay,
Precious
it
metal
looks like
clay.
wire.
Yeah, it's precious metal clay. It works like regular clay. And there's binders in it which burn off in the kiln. So it's
Okay.
pure silver when it comes out. So, and
Does it
it's-
come like rods, or do you roll it up?
Oh, no, it comes like a little wad of gum. It looks like Sculpey clay. So, I'm so nervous.
So do you
Think
shape
I-
it in?
Yeah, yeah. I shape for these. I put it, I roll it.
Do you have a
into
picture of
little
you doing
snakes.
that?
Oh, I have a picture of me with the glass rods. Glass rods and soldering.
So are the glass rods are what you're making
Yeah,
those
no.
beads on the earrings
Oh,
or not?
Yeah,
Can
I
see
didn't bring
that?
anything though. Because the rods though, I like them shaped like this. Like that. I like that shape.
Do you have a picture
So just
in
kinda
here of
abstract.
that necklace you're wearing?
Oh, no, because it's a new one, newly built. I can send, because I have all the drawings where, like, for what I'm working on. It comes out of the kiln, you heat it up, you can either, depends on which one you get, you can put it in the
Do you have a
kiln.
receipt in there for the PM?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You can put it in the kiln or
That's probably one of your most interesting things.
Or
If
use
you-
a torch, and then because of the binders, they burn off. So it shrinks.
Can you, may I ask
A
you,
little bit.
can you take off that necklace and show us?
Yeah, you're gonna think it's really crude though. Because it is.
These
Well,
are
if it's-
other necklace designs?
Yeah.
If it's being made like you say, though, I think it's an interesting process.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff.
Silver.
Yeah,
Can't
it's,
believe that.
so all kinds of gilds and, bulletin boards, and I just hung it just,
And the enhancer on the end, you made that?
Oh, these?
That silver?
Yeah, this.
No,
this
that
one.
square.
Oh, yeah, that.
Okay, here,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
you
clear.
don't have to, just pass it and let us look
So
at it.
it comes like regular clay,
Uh-huh.
and it's actually pure silver. It's like 9999%
Mm.
once it comes
Mm.
out. You shine it up, and you can file it. So I
Mm.
filed some of
Mm.
that too.
Hmm.
It's just you can make origami or put it out of a syringe or weave it. It's cool stuff. So those are the designs.
So what do you get for,
Oh.
was it 16 grams?
Oh. Yeah,
It's
it's
kind of
like
interesting
it's
process.
like
For-
bubble gum. Yeah, for 1835. They make it in gold too, which
Yeah.
is like really expensive.
Yeah.
There's one that is a little more expensive, but a little more that you get.
Now,
And-
what about your watches?
Oh, I don't think they're hand done enough. I'm not sure. The rules, because I take the head pins and put them on the silver wire. Silver chain, so this one's the gold stone. Usually I fit them to people when they buy them, because I've been selling a lot of watches too at the beach, but because it is kind of.
Is all this wire work in here all of yours?
Yeah, so, well, I buy the chain. I buy the chain
Okay.
and then just put them on the beads and the head pins, so everything's sterling, but haven't been wearing it.
Okay.
So when they go to the beach, they get a little tarnishy.
Okay,
And I
so
buy the-
you're just
buy
attaching
the
to
heads.
the chain.
Yeah, so I was gonna, if those aren't good, I wanna do the beads out of like, diacrylic.
Well, yeah,
and
you know,
silver
if you
clay.
make your own beads with that
Yeah.
rod and stuff,
Yeah,
that'd be the ticket.
yeah. They consider
Yeah.
these beads blown, but I don't really see it.
We want you to do it
Because I
yourself.
nail everything anyway, so,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they're.
Did you make the
I
beads?
just make them more abstract though.
Did you make the beads on the earrings?
Oh, no, I buy those, because they're blown. I don't blow. Someday I'll blow glass, but not right now.
And then these, what you're stringing
Yeah,
beads
just
onto.
stringing them on. So I wanna, because I don't think that those are gonna be good for here, for your requirements, so I wanted to do the little links out of PMC and also fused glass.
Yeah, see, and that would be if you made the beads and things, it would be a
Yeah, then I'll.
step up
I
on
can do
those.
that. Oh, I know. Believe me, I'm discouraged after Huntington Beach. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what was I doing
Well,
there
one of
for
our
so
hard,
long?
that we're looking at this, one of our hardest categories is jewelry.
Oh,
So we have certain requirements, we just have to.
yeah, usually the earrings get me places because they're different than what other people have usually.
The only
So-
thing about we do allow wire wrap, but those are just on the edge. They're really not quite enough, I think,
Oh, okay.
because they do, we have some that are really fantastic wire
Oh, I know.
wrappers.
Yeah, because those aren't, they're just, I don't consider those to be wire wrapped, like how people
And I
think
think
of wire
the-
wrapping, but.
I think the glass you make,
Well, the guideline's 75% handmade.
Mhm.
Those aren't quite.
No.
Yeah, that's what
75%.
was
They
kind
just
of
need a little
confusing
more-
to me.
If
So
you-
if I make my beads and do
Right,
the
that's-
same
Yes.
thing, then that's
changes
cool.
everything.
All right, I'll make my own beads.
I think your thing too is that new silver, like you're doing with the necklace. If you kind of kick that up and.
Yeah, I
and-
love that stuff.
And do something in that is very creative.
Yeah, and also with because I like the glass rods, I like
Mhm.
to do 'em
Maybe
in
a
the
better
torch,
piece
too.
of chain and something around it.
Yeah,
So
I
we have
didn't
some
know if chain
things,
is
we have
okay.
here, we have the mirrors would qualify,
Those are
right?
nice.
And the clock, and the wind chime, is that where she cuts and presses that? So those items would qualify under our regulations.
Okay.
But the jewelry is too much along the stringing line. If you had more wire wrap and some of your own beads, we could
Yeah,
fit
I'll
you
make
in.
my own beads then. And then the silver clay is fine.
Yeah, the
Just
silver
like
clay
that little
is
amount
an
of beads
interesting
is cool.
thing.
Okay.
Okay, do we have,
I'll make a motion, we approve everything except for the earrings, the watches.
Okay.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I'll rephoto everything and ask again.
Yeah, and if you have new objects that differ a great deal from this, we would have to approve them. But as
Yeah.
long as it's just a different-looking clock or a mirror or something, that fits into your qualifications.
Yeah, because I'm kind of the type that's gonna like
Yeah.
get approval for everything.
Yeah,
anyway,
well,
so.
okay, thank you. Well, I think you've got some nice
Thank you.
things.
Thank you.
Okay, our next person is Floral Productions, flowers. No show. Well, there he is.
Floral Express? Or does it say Floral Products?
Says floral products,
Products,
Ralph.
okay.
Ralph?
Ralph Yak.
Yes.
I'm Greg. So I would be doing the selling here if this comes about. What we have is rose bouquets, pre-wrapped, dethorned, clean, and very attractive product. We sell it throughout the country to florists. We think that there would be a market here, and that's the only product we would have at this time, would be the rose bouquets. I think Ralph was here out to last Thursday and noticed that there were a lot of mixed bouquets, so therefore we don't want to bring those. We have all flowers, and we ship all over the country. These roses, particular roses, would come from Ecuador, so they're a very large head rose, and they would be packaged in colors and or just red, with baby's breath, with a greenery and a little packet of food, they call it, for the roses. So we would sell them somewhere $10, $11, and I don't think you can buy a dozen roses anywhere for that price.
How many floral vendors do we have down there?
3.
3. And is there ones to come back yet that are already approved, or everybody's there that's
That's
approved?
with the one that hasn't come back yet. And we have, then we have one that comes and goes. I can't depend on, he's gonna never be there. So 3, 2 are down there now, 1 will be back in October, right around there.
So
I
that-
haven't been to the sale at all, but we would probably be working out of a Bobcat truck, pretty good size, with refrigeration, and sell out of the back. So I don't know what the setup would be, if that would work, or...
No.
Yeah, the farmers can be good trucks, that's not a problem.
Do these
Big-
people
that
that
big?
we have tend to run out of product?
We don't have roses. We may have a few, but usually they do the most mixed
Okay.
bouquets.
So what I'm getting at is, if we have all these people there and they go home with still half of their stock that they didn't sell, we have too many people down there selling it.
Yeah, I would like to know that.
Yeah, and, because that would be,
Yeah.
part of your,
Yeah, part of your thing too.
But
Yeah.
mostly
Yeah.
those floral ones we
Yeah.
buy from all the time don't have rose.
Yeah, I
Sometimes a
haven't seen
little,
really roses
but I
either.
haven't seen
So it's not like the roses are gonna be in competition.
Like
Right, 'cause there's-
this.
Yeah, yeah.
well, it's
How
a
about
nice service.
imports? They're coming from Ecuador?
Yeah.
We don't do imports.
Well, carnations come from.
Well, all the flowers come from somewhere.
Yeah, Colombia and Ecuador. Poor American florists anymore are having a hard time, they really are.
The imports,
So,
giftware.
He's being facetious.
Can I see you have them from California and South America. Can you just sell us Californian roses?
these are already pre-wrapped and ready to go from Ecuador. Just like some of the commercials say, they're cut and you have them the next day. Well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
You buy them
quite
at
that.
LAX
Yeah.
at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve Floral Products Limited to sell roses at VillageFest.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay,
Come by for your free book.
we will.
Good luck.
will.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are we excused?
Yes.
You know what you've been.
Got a long trip ahead of them.
Yeah, now, does he need to get licensed or any of that business at the home?
Yeah, you get VillageFest permit, I'll talk to him about this.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can talk to Ralph probably.
He does want to talk to us. Okay, we're going to have Starscapes, murals and art canvases.
Hi there. My name's Rip Reed. My wife Jeannie and I do a process called Starscapes. We basically paint an astronomically correct view of the nighttime sky in glow-in-the-dark paint. We typically paint it on people's bedroom and other room ceilings. If it's possible at some point to get the lights turned down, I know Elaine needs, we need to do that.
Yeah.
So our normal work is we go in people's darkened bedrooms, we black the lights, black out all form of light, and work on ladders and pretty much work in the dark. And we hand paint our work, and it's a neat part about the process in this particular paint that we use is that it's, we hate to say invisible, but it's virtually undetectable during the day. It's, but it glows in the dark all night long. So,
So basically, you would be, how would you market
Well,
yourself?
This is our new product. This is the portable version of what we do on somebody's ceiling in their home. And basically, this started out as a bed sheet, basically approximately 5.5 or 6 feet wide by 8 feet long. And then we put it up on the wall in our studio, and in the dark we paint, once again, an astronomically correct view of the nighttime sky. Each one of these is different and
Okay.
original.
Okay,
Okay.
so I was understanding that you would go to their houses and paint it.
Absolutely. Part of what, if you'll check my application, part of what we're asking to do is also to pick up appointment settings for people's homes as well. Well, what we learned when we were out there talking to people is that a lot of people that rent are scared to invest several $100s to $1,000 having to do their bedroom ceiling and then having an issue or hassle with the landlord about repainting it. It's probably a benefit to the property, but you know, the bottom line is that people are a little bit scared to do that. So we came up with the portable version so that we can basically, visitors can take this, they can mail it easily to as a gift item, etc. You can hang this with push pins or thumbtacks or wood frame it out on either your wall or ceiling or both, and it becomes an instant attraction. It glows all night long. So on the back side of the package, by the way, is the information that might be of interest, how it's charged, you know, what they'll see, etc. Each one of these has at least 5 constellations, 3 shooting stars, and a huge section of the Milky Way with thousands of hand-painted stars contained within it.
So each of these would all be the same then?
No,
That's
there's
in
no,
your pack-
there
they're all
are no
different?
two alike.
Okay.
It's a physical impossibility to do two alike, especially in the dark. Well, there it is. Isn't that beautiful? That is a complete view of the nighttime sky. Oh, okay. So that basically, let me show these folks. Basically, when you look at it, you have to look very close to see the stars. Like here's a constellation star here, and yeah, it's very difficult. I don't know if we're going to have enough darkness to make this really work out. And another thing about the process is that it takes, the TV guys aren't going to like this, it takes 5 to 7 minutes for the average adult's eyes to adjust to the, you know, to the dark or dim light. And in fact, we definitely have too much light in here to be able to pull this off, don't it? That might be better. You might start to see some of the larger stars come out.
Is the sheet blue? Like-
No, the sheet.
Well, in the
sheet's
picture it's
just-
blue, like your other photograph.
Does
is
it take a
blue.
minute to activate or?
Well, no, it's, normally how you charge this is you charge it with, say, a compact fluorescent light in the room for about 30 minutes, or a television, 20-inch TV for half an hour in the room. That's plenty of UV radiation. The way we charged these today was open them up to the bright sun in the parking lot for 20 minutes before we came in. So it's really, you know, it's so very difficult to see this. This is a really, it's almost embarrassing, except that we're used to it. But I mean, I can tell you, you know, this particular item has the has the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, North Star, Draco, the Dragon.
So if you had
the
these
Milky
down at
Way,
the
et
Village
cetera.
Fest spread out, would there be enough, I mean, hanging or whatever, how your display would be? Would you be able to see them?
Unfortunately, it depends. At night, I think that we are going to be able to accomplish, certain visual, and I think that we'll be able to, sorry about that. We're also getting ready to do some on canvas. We call them star windows. And those will be a lot easier to put in some kind of a light tight box and have people look at. Our most difficult dynamic is displaying something that needs to be displayed in a dark room in anything other than a dark room. And that's our dynamic that we have to work against all the time. We designed a couple of light tight boxes, and we may use these at VillageFest if we're approved, where people walk up and look in it's basically a 2x2 wood box with a black covering, and on this complete starscape scene is painted, scaled down 2x2 on the bottom of the box. Inside the box is a fluorescent light to charge it with, and a black piece of cloth to pull up to block out light from your eyes. So when you look in there, if you let your eyes adjust for a couple minutes, you can see it. And
How
that's-
did you ever think of this?
Well, we didn't think of it, actually, to
Oh,
be
you didn't?
honest with you, no. We learned the process, we found out about the process on the internet, and we bought a license to learn the process. As it turned out, even though it's a licensed process, almost none of what they teach it through the process is really valid. We don't use any of the tools or techniques that they use. No one has ever done this product this way or done it on canvas that we know of. So we're just trying to take it to a next step and try to bring it to the
It
consumer.
might never again.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you guys haven't seen before, I'm sure. This is a testimonial letter from a lady's house that we did down in Imperial Beach. We also have some receipts from Walmart, our best supplier of the sheets, and some receipts for the paint. The paint is highly formulated. It's fourth generation, costs $20 an ounce, so it's probably more expensive than what they use on the space shuttle. But unlike most fluorescent or phosphorescent items, you see those little sticky stars that people put on their ceilings, they glow for about 15 minutes, 30 on a good day. This glows for up to 25 hours, and it's just amazing stuff.
It's all non-toxic.
Absolutely non-toxic, non-everything.
Yeah, because I see you're getting it from Arizona, the paint.
Correct, that's where the supplier is in Arizona. But it is, there are no negative effects. And in fact, on the cloth, after this sets for a couple, 3 months, we've demonstrated that it can be machine washed. It can be ironed right out of the box, and the, the wrinkles removed, so, if you iron it from the backside. So that's pretty much our story.
I wish we could see it.
I know,
Curious now.
I'll tell you what, I am happy to leave a sample with you guys to take home and check out. If there's a dark room in this building, I'm happy to show it. I thought about bringing my motorhome down today and blacking it out, because the entire ceiling end to end is all done, it's very spectacular. But the dynamic of a bright room, it's difficult.
What about behind the curtain there?
I think is there tables back there?
There's a little bit of space right here. Without light, I'd be happy to wait till the end of your meeting if that would be appropriate, and do whatever we can do to try to demonstrate the
Well,
product.
what we would have in your booth is you would have,
We'd have one on display, full
and
sheet.
these stacks of them that
Yeah,
you'd
not
be
too
selling
many.
for $49.
Exactly, that's correct.
That somebody was going to buy this white sheet and take it home, and it's supposed to be a portable ceiling.
Well, it's a portable.
Well, I
view
mean,
of
I'm
Mount
sounding
Scott, yes.
facetious, but
No, I
you
understand
know
what you're saying,
what?
for sure. That's
I
basically
don't know
it.
if it's an interesting concept, but I don't know what it does.
Well, do you ever
You
look
wanna
at the
wait?
stars yourself, or? I
Oh,
mean,
yes,
I mean,
I'm not saying it, I'm not
it's
saying
like
you're talking,
having
but
a
I'm just
complete-
trying to think of what you're going to be up against there, and I'm sure the lighting won't be correct.
We've actually found, and demonstrated at a show last weekend, that people don't need to see it to buy it, strangely enough. People will buy
They'll
it
just
sight
buy
unseen.
any old thing.
Well, if you look at our, well, you know, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of star people out there. The stars are really big in the consciousness right now. You go to Walmart, Kmart, there's.
They're all different. There's no
everything
two
is-
alike. I mean,
It's
right. They're just-
it's physically impossible to do two alike. I mean, I can't imagine how you could do two alike. It would take one heck of a big silk screen machine or something to do two alike. But no, everything is hand painted.
My
See what I
son's
mean?
room is covered, but I can't make any constellations. I just buy all those packages.
Right.
And I mean, he loves it. It keeps him from being afraid of the dark.
Sure.
I love it.
It's
It's
another
like a
aspect.
nightlight.
Yeah.
And unlike
It's-
those pointy stars, these look like real stars, meaning they're more like dots than, than things with points on them, because stars don't look that way.
Well, do we have a motion?
Well, I like the concept. I think it's nice, and it's all hand painted.
Exactly.
I would, motion for it.
All right?
I guess the motion would be good until we get the first complaint from somebody that they didn't
There's
work.
nothing on there when you got
Because
home?
we didn't see it.
Well, you won't ever hear that, if you look at that
I mean,
testimonial
we're
letter,
taking your word
it's,
and
Yeah, we-
it
looking
absolutely.
at the picture, of
Exactly.
what it's supposed
And I
to
know you'd
look
like to see us painting it, but that's impossible to
Yeah.
take a good picture in a dark room, because we're working literally off the glow of a paint from a 1 ounce jar,
Yeah.
with some weird little tools we get at Sally Beauty Supply and stuff.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
There you go.
congratulations.
Charge them up.
I know it's different, what can I say?
Yeah, we're just hoping you're honest.
Well, we live in Idlewild and
Have
we're
our
right in the
number and
neighborhood,
phone number.
so.
We'll track you down.
Yeah, on every package is all of our info, web address. all that.
Sure.
They sell a $50 sheet.
Crystal Mill Jewelry.
Hello.
Hello.
Actually, we are using the beauty of the crystal and the diversity of the crystal to make different type of product. For example, the figures, bracelet, necklace, earring. Should I show it to you? 拿一点给你。Figures.
So these are all individual pieces, and you
Individual pieces.
glued them or whatever
Yeah.
together?
你说我们是用这种，不用打开。I need a cover better. They have different size of the crystal. They have a small one, bigger one, medium size. And this is the raw crystal. It's something like that. And then,
This is just, these are like beading.
yeah, it's like hand work. And also, we can use it for bracelets, different type of shape, color combination, earring. Those are figures and with bracelet, and then using the crystal to make necklace also.
How many people you have work on this?
One person.
One person?
Yeah. Well, we are partner.
Okay, so both of you do it.
Yeah, we also teach.
One of the two of you?
Yeah. We, work in certain fields, I work in
Yeah.
certain fields. And crystal can make it really shiny and make it really big. So that's our idea. And, the necklace, something like that, what I'm wearing is also part of it. Do you want me to put it back here? And then we also make, something like a surfing model, and, all those figures with crystal. They have different size of crystal. We did it all together.
Do you have any pictures of you making these animals?
Yeah. 够了够了。你说我们不晓得要找什么照片，所以给一些。 This is the pink painter. Hey, 什么？
Yeah, he's over here.
Yeah, I'll put it on.
There's that needle you've been looking for.
Oh, yes.
That's on the map.
你说那是
You have a really good eye.
那是中国特有的结义
This is the
Chinese mountain. combined with the crystal. This is a really traditional, how do you call it? Traditional Chinese handcraft. 我们用绳子编出来的。Something like that to, you know, the design. You can create or combine it. Should I pass all this to you? Do you need all this too?
Yes.
How much do you sell this for?
那个卖多少钱的？那个我只卖6块钱。This is $6.
This is good.
那小乌龟很好看，小乌龟很好看，这也很看手。青蛙这些。你刚刚说我们做的东西不止这一些，是拿了一点点来。
Is beading.
There's some artistic quality to
Yeah.
the animals.
Yeah.
I think that it is assembled, but it takes a lot of time. It's hard. I mean, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it takes about 5 to 10 hours.
Yeah, I can imagine that. But you don't make any of the beads.
The crystal bead is Australian. It's a crystal bead. We cannot have a factory to make crystal bead.
And the other parts are all bought. So what you're doing is initially bead string.
Bead string.
Which is assemblage, and I don't think it fits our rules and regulations. What do the rest of you
Do you
think?
mind I translate her some of what you're saying?
Oh, sure, I'll write it in.
他说那个水晶不是我们做的，他说因为我们就是把水晶放在一起，所以不能当做是手艺。那个中国结可以吧？那中国结可是自己编的。And you're talking about the crystal part or
All of it.
All of it. 那个绳子也是我们自己买的，所以也不行。绳子哪里可以自己做？我们用绳子这样编出来的，不能算是自己做的。所以他说不行，因为是把东西编出来的。那他们做木头做也是木头，也不可能是自己锯的，对不对？
I think the little animals are cute, but it
所以
is
你可以
still.
跟他讲，你说这个绳结一说是不是一根绳
The
子
pink
拿出来
panther's
的？
adorable.
Artistic value
绳子
in the
当然不可能自己做。
actual animals, but it's still
It's still
assembled.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is not just assemble. It's
Well,
it's
but
really-
under our rules and regulations, it fits under that.
Okay.
See, like the other lady, she made the beads, so we could approve that part. The one she didn't make is just assembling them together.
But Chinese nothing is Chinese 怎么样 She's saying that, for example, the Chinese knot is.
Yes.
all hand tied.
是编出
来的
You cannot
不可能去
assemble. It's not assembly. It's
But you also don't have a picture of
is.
that.
And I just think it would, do we have a motion, one way or the other?
I'll make a motion to deny under the rules regulations.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'm sorry.
Fine, thank you.
Our next one is Country Flair Gifts, ceramic items.
Hello.
Hello.
This is not ceramics. Since I submitted that, I had started doing some painting, but I have my ceramics with me. I wanted you to just see the wood items that I did for the holiday season. This is the pictures of, I'm Nancy Brinkman, I'm sorry. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
You can talk to you guys on the phone and you don't feel bad, but when you get eye to eye and you kind of go, this is pictures of the shop and where we pour the molds for the ceramics.
So these are in addition to your other pieces that you're showing?
Yeah, those would be an addition if they're accepted.
So she already has a booth.
No, I'm applying for a booth and this is what I put down on the
Her
application.
original application says ceramics.
Ceramics. And
And
then
that was in for.
I've been in the toll and decorative painting world for years as a teacher and I kind of swung over to ceramics.
Now
And-
tell me something. These ceramics, do you buy them as greenware?
I pour them. I own the shop that has the
Do you make
molds.
the molds?
No, we don't make the molds, we buy those molds.
That little one there resting the little angel,
Uh-huh.
I can buy him and do any, at your store.
No, we don't sell to the public. I pour these molds and then I paint them.
No, I know. But you do
Okay.
not make the molds.
No,
So someone like me could go somewhere and buy that mold.
that's correct. They could. That's correct.
So what you're really talking to us about is the painting you do on the greenware.
Yes, the finished product.
Okay, you've got them all stacked up here.
Do you want to see these? Violet pots have been very popular because the girls don't seem to be able to find them. I don't know if you know anything about violets, but they have to be watered at the bottom so that they don't turn the leaves brown.
So they came this way. They're going that one, yeah, that one.
I just brought a variety of these so you could see what we do.
Well, I'll tell you before, we have not let these into our,
Oh, okay.
if you make the mold and what you do is one of a kind to you, then that is different. But when you're doing the greenware and anyone can purchase the mold and paint on it, that's a different category.
This isn't painted. What is it?
That's decals.
Oh,
See, I
okay.
have to pour that.
That's right, okay.
I have to pour that violet pot mold. There's 3 sizes of them.
And then now, like these little things over here, you hand paint those?
Yes, those
Well,
are
now,
all.
see, that's a different story.
That's a different story.
And they look
I
really
could completely
interesting.
switch to wood if that's,
Well,
you know.
past those, no, those are something that look very different.
I don't cut the wood. But I
But
purchased
all
the
your
wood.
toll painting is,
Oh, yeah.
that's
So-
all you.
Well, now, see, now that you're doing, yeah. Uh-huh. And those little things are.
You want to see these this way?
So you buy the wood and put it together, and then you do all of your painting on it?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are canning jars that we painted.
Yeah, those are very clever.
You brought 'em.
Huh?
It's a good thing you brought them.
Are they enough to carry your booth?
Well, I'm gonna have to paint like crazy.
Well, see, these are
Carry the
really
booth.
neat, and they're just
Okay.
like a mason jar.
Yeah, they are. They are a canning jar that I have sprayed and then painted. And yeah, you can unscrew this and use it as a
Well,
candy jar.
see, here you go.
Okay,
So you painted this, you painted
all of it.
this.
And the little pants, the little
All of
face,
it,
and the
all of
little
it.
thing. Now, see, that's a neat little thing for somebody's kitchen. Then you can make Santa Clauses for Christmas and
I do. I do a lot. Lots. I didn't bring half my stuff.
rabbits for
Yeah.
Easter. And,
There's lots of Christmas stuff at home I didn't bring. So I mean,
yeah, and we like Christmas. We like the Christmas food.
and the pictures don't show me painting those.
Did you sign it on the bottom?
I don't know. Some of them I think I signed.
You
Signed
should.
somewhere. That one was signed.
Yeah, I
This one's
saw it on
signed
that
on
one.
the back
Uh-huh,
one.
yeah, that's good. Your sister?
The witch.
Oh. You said it. Well, I think those fit into the,
So you want me to have a wood booth, a hand-painted wood
Coal
booth?
painting booth.
A tall painting booth, okay, all
well, see,
right.
you're doing all that yourself, and it's all creative, and
Yes.
each one's a little different, and they're clever.
Thank you.
People can put something in store in there, couldn't they, if they wanted to?
Then if maybe you signed them also,
I will
they
sign
would
them.
become more,
Do you make different sized ones out of like a gallon jar?
I never have, and it's an idea to do it. It's
Pickle
just I
jar.
scrounged to get these things.
Well, see, you got a lot of work to do.
I do.
So I'll make a-
Ceramics.
And your little plaque there,
Yeah.
those kind of things work, and those things. And for the holidays, that fits, that's nice.
I'll make a motion, we approve for those things,
The coal painted.
the toll painted. No greenware.
No
Okay.
greenware.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we have feather and leather, soaps, pillows, and birdhouses. Well, that's quite a different bunch.
Feathers and
I'll
leathers.
carry that one.
Feathers and
You got it.
leathers. Hi, my name's Erin, and I brought with me today a sample of my soaps that I make from scratch. Feathers and Leathers started with soap. That's around. I bought a book on soap making, and so it started with soap. And since there's already Victorian soaps out there and any kind of soap you can think of, and I like all things Western, I came up with Feathers and Leathers as kind of a cowboy and Indians type of concept. So I make the soap from scratch. They're all vegetarian friendly. I know it kind of goes against Western theme, but
Cowboys that are vegetarian.
right. So and I use essential oils in all my soaps and botanicals. The labels are my design, and basically the whole concept's mine. I make them at home in my kitchen, and actually it's a lot of fun, a lot of work, and they take about 6 weeks to cure once they're made. You take the next day, you slice them, and then they cure for about 6 weeks, so they've had time to mellow and harden up a bit. And so while those are curing, I sew also, and to stay on the theme of the Western theme, this is a pillow that I designed. I make everything. I don't do the artwork. I put the artwork on the canvas, and then I cut these, I string the beads, I sew on the cording, I put zippers in, I even make the inserts as well. So that's the other thing that I do while my soap is curing.
Who is that picture?
I don't know who it is.
It's Jane Russell.
I don't.
Good job. That's good.
I
It
actually,
is? Jane
it's
Russell.
not.
It's not Jane. I've had people tell me it was Dale Evans and
Doesn't
Jane
look
Russell,
like
but
I know.
she's an anonymous. It's,
Jane, I have.
they don't know who it is. And after I get tired of sewing, actually, let me show you one more sample. The artwork on this pillow is actually my brother's. He's an artist who lives in Sedona, well, outside Sedona, Arizona. We used to live out there, and he's still there, and I'm here. He's the lucky guy. Anyways, he's an artist in Arizona, and actually this is his artwork right here, and I just put it on one of my pillows. This one was just kind of a test pillow. They're all experimental. Some I really prefer over others. So when I'm not sewing or making soap, I also like to paint. My dad's an artist, and we have a lot of artists in our family. My brother's an artist, and so they paint canvases and I paint wood. This is one of my birdhouses. My husband put the birdhouse together, and I painted it. It's a sheet of plywood he cut and put it together. Actually, that one needs a little bit of, I was going to put some copper.
This, may I ask a question on
Yes,
this
sir.
one? This, would you silk screen it onto here?
It's a iron-on transfer sheet.
So you took a picture of his picture, and then you put it to the computer probably, you did what you did?
Scanned it,
Yeah,
and
scanned it
then-
onto the transfer sheet, and
Mhm.
then
And then you iron it on. So, but I don't always do transfer pictures. Sometimes I have pillows that are no pictures, just some beadwork, or I like to do remnants of vintage fabric and buttons, and so I don't just do Western, but these are just a couple of them I have.
But that's the basic theme of your booth.
Yeah, but again, like I like Western, but some of my pillows are just kind of just some nice boudoir pillows. They have beautiful lace and buttons, and just kind of whatever comes to mind.
So now, this, you make the birdhouse?
My husband made that one. I put together this one. I buy a big sheet of plywood. This is half-inch plywood. I mark it. My husband has a table saw. He cuts it for me. I put these together. I have a little handheld staple gun, and I put them together, and then I paint them. And this was just
Do you have a picture of you doing that?
I don't have a picture of me doing that.
And how long have you been doing these?
Not long. These were just kind of signed. I like to sign everything. This was just kind of a trial thing because I love to paint. I have lots of paint at home, and I just like birdhouses, and
People collect birdhouses.
asked my husband if he would cut the wood for me, and it just, so I made.
Can you pass that one also, please?
And I made as many birdhouses as a sheet of plywood would make. And I just thought I would try it and see if they turned out, and if anybody liked them. There you go.
Bird goes in there.
They're decorative, really. Birds are very particular. It's yard art, or you could have it
Be a
inside.
lot of stuff to make a thick nest.
Right. Well, yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's a cute
Swallows.
idea.
Swallows would like those.
Okay, so what do we have? We have the birdhouses, we have the pillows, and
Soap.
the soap.
I like the soaps because they're a little bit different than the other varieties that are just graphed with a computer label. These have
Yeah.
some personality.
Yeah.
to them. Like,
I agree.
They look Western.
And they've got a lot of,
They fit your
Yeah.
pillows. The
Lot
ones
of-
we have here.
what do you call it?
Personality?
I'm trying to think of smell.
Fragrance.
Fragrance,
Right.
fragrance, that's it.
I
can
do,
smell it from here.
I have a lady
Yeah,
who,
aroma, that's what I was thinking.
aromatherapy, yeah, it's essential oils. I have a lady who buys from me, and she has a little store in Oatman, Arizona. And I had a lady buy from me who has a store in Prescott. And I have repeat customers. I go to the farmer's market on Thursday where I live, and I have several repeat customers, and I have people tell me I should try Trader Joe's, and I've had people tell me that they're just going to watch my soap company just, turn into this fabulous business. So I'm thinking, okay, great. So it's fun, it's exciting. I enjoy it.
I think the birdhouses are interesting. The pillows are a little on the assembly side. My suggestion, I think, the picture, the one that you did of your brother's work, I think looks much more creative than the picture of the lady.
Of Jane. It's not really Jane.
You know, I mean, to some people, but I mean, that looks kind of like it's a little gimmicky.
Okay, well, I was going for that kind of that 50s kitsch look on that
And
particular
when usually
pillow.
we tell people, you know, you've got such a wonderful idea, you've done so much work, if you could just do something originally on the front. And like you're doing your process is, but maybe with original work that you've done or your brother or somebody.
Can be done.
Because then I think you've really got something that somebody's gonna buy for their,
Sure. Like I said, I don't have transfer wear on all my pillows. It was just, these were
see, now
just...
if you don't, the other ones are just assembled. You just sew a back and a front and beads on them and.
I use, different types of fabric. 2 or 3 different types of fabric and buttons and...
The pillows people we have down there, I don't know if you notice, you know, they paint on them. They, you know, they're hand done, and then they assemble them, assemble them then into a pillow. So I don't know.
Okay.
And that part of it, I think, is a little on the assembly line, but they're neat. They're different.
Now, how about if she did more painting around?
Yeah.
Say, the Jane Russell pillow
Mhm.
with the white around, if you did some Western type
Painting?
horseshoes or whatever of your own work,
Sure.
then that becomes your canvas. It's, you know, like an artist paints on a piece of canvas. That would become more of your canvas where you're painting on it,
What?
opposed to just you cut the pieces and sewed them together, which makes it assemblage.
Sure.
So that would, you know, kick it up that little bit to more of your hand work on it.
I could do that.
That's what it needs. And if you would do that, you would even sell more of them because you wouldn't have that one objection. Because I think the one that is even of your brother's work is much more creative looking than the one with Jane Russell, we'll call her.
Okay.
But Jane Russell, I'm sure, was never, ever wore a blouse that high connect. So I don't know, I guess we're gonna have a motion.
Yeah, would we motion with exclusion of the pillows for further review on them, or,
That's fine. We go back after she paints them.
yeah? Would that work for you?
Birdhouses and the
Sure.
sofa approved?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll second.
All in
Right.
favor?
Aye.
Great.
Opposed? Okay. So that's
All right.
kind of,
Thank you. Can I take
Okay,
this?
yeah.
would fit our thing, so why don't you do one and then
Resubmit?
the pillows
Yeah, it doesn't cost you any more money, just come.
and,
Alrighty.
because you do a lot of work on them, so that. Scott McKenzie, painting.
Coming October 8th.
Oh. We're down to Jutta I'm butchering your name. Watercolors. Jutta?
Okay,
Hello.
hi. I'm Jutta Merrill, and I used to do oils. I used to specialize in golf paintings and seascapes, but watercolors sell better, so I switched to watercolors. And if you want to look through those, some are still of my oil paintings in there, but most of them are watercolors. If you want to.
Okay.
Let me. I just want to show you some. It does make you kind of nervous coming up here.
Oh, we're not that rough, are we?
You are. It's just, oops. Just
They
some.
look very nice. Those are nice watercolors.
Let me show you a few more. And none of them are duplicates or anything because I just paint as I.
They're all originals?
Yes.
And then what you've made a few of them into cards.
Yes, I sent some cards and I forgot to bring some.
Very nice.
What I paint a lot of is those hummingbirds. I do a lot. Let me show you some, which are my favorites. I make smaller ones, but not too many small ones. I paint small ones too. And I said this. So.
Yeah, very nice.
I make a motion that we approve.
Oh, thank you.
I second it.
Thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, you do beautiful work. Look at these
Thank you.
beautiful birds.
Oh, the back of it, that's my grandkids. I just had them stuck in there, so I ran out of.
Good, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. You're nice.
See, we weren't that rough, now were we?
See, you're just what we wanted there. Okay, our next one, we're going to have, what are we? Mighty Tasty Food. Yeah, makes sense now. I get it. How are you today?
Fine, I'll start at the same where she's starting. Basically, what we have is glazed roasted almonds. We've mastered pecans. We're moving to cashews and peanuts as well. You want to understand, we've been trying this process for about 6 months to apply, and in that process, apparently, another glazed roasted almond, almond maker, is now in the street fair.
You're welcome to know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
And where do you sell your?
we have sold at powwows. I'm Cherokee, believe it or not. It's really not real blonde. So we sell at just about all of the Indian powwows where you have to be registered, a registered Indian to sell at.
Blonde?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. They said we got to do something with the hair if we're going to market you.
No,
But
yeah.
I'm an emergency
The
trauma
high
room nurse, to be
cheekbones
honest
give
with
you
you.
away.
I really don't. I mean, I'll go to the powwows, but
Please.
These are not her.
no,
This,
Oh,
I think she left them.
yes, she gave them to us.
Yeah, it was a gift.
Mighty
They're
Tasty
stealing
glazed
them
roast.
already.
Like I said, we
And you
also
make all,
mastered
where do you buy your product?
Costco. Right here locally, Costco. All the almonds, all the pecans. Vanilla we get from, the sugar we get at Costco. I always say it backwards, I don't want to mess up on TV. Smart and Final. We get all the vanilla and cinnamon, stuff like that there. Like I said, we've mastered the pecans and cashews. We do market the pecans. We haven't marketed the cashews or peanuts yet.
yeah, there is an almond booth already, but the difference is they have other nuts and other things.
Yeah.
What about the nachos with chili?
We can keep those or get rid of them, doesn't matter. Just that we notice at the powwows, there seems to be a higher demand. I mean, that's like, you're there from 9 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock at night when they're doing, the dancing, stuff like that. And people get hungrier for more than just, I mean, after 12 hours, I don't want just nuts. You better feed me something heavier. So that was just placed on our menu more for substance. I mean, it can stay, it can go, we can make adjustments to the menu. And the second page is the newer menu. They're roasted right there on site. You can probably remember that, with the same pink lovely little machine, yes.
So we have 2 people,
One right now.
1
And you sell
We have one
almonds.
doing,
almonds.
We are sponsored by Las Casuelas also.
they have a commissary license from Las Vegas. Commissary license. Original.
And they said, while I was here, you want to see it move that way toward.
Well,
Well, we haven't been taking food, I don't, with this menu,
No, I don't think,
Well,
you know,
I'd like
it's not, the nuts would maybe, but I don't think, you know, the
Like I said-
enchiladas and all that other business.
Yeah,
You know, we're not taking, if you're a
We can
local
take-
restaurant, we're taking, that's almost a shoe-in for a local restaurant within the district
Primary
down in
zone.
the primary zone.
Like I said, we can take everything off but the nuts and drinks. I mean, that's
she's
not,
real cooperative.
I am so cooperative.
They do two kinds of
Uh-huh.
nuts.
Actually, we do 4, but
Well, just
cashews are very expensive, macadamia nuts are very expensive, and we need to see a higher demand for those before we start investing that kind of money in those kind of nuts.
So I think the only things that we could do right now wouldn't be is the different assortment of nuts, not the
I
foods.
would try the Max during.
Yeah. I
Absolutely,
think-
especially at
We used to have
Christmas
a
time.
Yeah, we used to have a macadamian vendor down there. She did really well.
Good,
Yeah, because we wouldn't do the nachos or enchiladas or.
that's
Well, on here
fine.
it says nachos with chili. That's all she said. I don't know about her menu.
Well, I was just, I was looking
Yeah.
at the menu.
Yeah, that's not-
On
like
the
I said-
application, all she put is the nuts
Yeah.
and the nachos, the chili, which we take that off,
Sure.
and the drinks. whatever.
So the motion would be approval for roasted almonds or nuts, whatever kind of nuts it is,
Nuts only.
nuts only. Does that work?
I'm okay with just selling my
No,
nuts.
no
it's fine.
drinks, no drinks, just nuts.
Right,
Okay, you made a motion?
And the
Yes.
more nuts, the better.
Do we
okay.
have a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
More variety.
all in
So you made
favor?
a motion?
Aye.
Aye,
And Eva,
yeah.
second.
Perfect.
Okay.
I get to go home
good.
and revamp this whole
That's
thing.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't even need a menu,
Right.
nuts and more nuts.
There's a lot of nuts, so you sell a bunch.
Well,
Thank
we're
you very
kinda
much.
waiting for the heat to go down. A lot of people
We
don't
all
know
are.
about, yeah. I
Well-
mean, during the spring and winter, it's great.
Couple weeks. All right, thank you very much. Alan Gerber, handcrafted knives. Palm Desert Knife Man.
Hi, my name is Alan Gerber. I'm a local resident, Palm Desert.
Hello.
I'm also, thank you. I'm also a wildlife illustrator and custom knife maker. I've been doing that since 1990. For the last 6 years, I've been a permanent vendor at COD. And I want to expand a little more. I'm doing the La Quinta Art Festival this year, or this next season, so, and Bear Jackson Auto Auction, a few other things, so. You want me to pass
Yeah.
knives around, or what?
Yeah, why don't you open them up and show us what you make real quick, because you only have about 3 minutes of
Okay.
airtime left. And I'll give you a
Okay.
little exposure on
All
TV.
right. Well, I don't want anyone to get cut, so some of these are sharp, some of them aren't. This is one that I do. All of my knives, I make 4 different varieties. One out of a file, a farrier's file, horseshoer's file, which this one, this blade in here
So
is.
you do all the inlay?
Yes,
and the
I do
whole-
everything
or
on 'em.
The bone and all?
Yes, that is elk. This knife's not sharp, but this is the same blade that's in there.
Okay.
This is made from the horseshoer's file, farrier's file. In fact, I want to hang this one up
Are
on
you
something.
making the sheet?
I do all my own leather work and my own artwork, scrimshaw art that I do. You can pass this one around, it has my scrimshaw artwork on it. This is the first knife that I made in 1990. This is one of my numbered edition. It's a 440 stainless steel blade, where this is made from W2 file. And then I
How
make,
much is that knife then?
Yeah.
this knife here would be $475 with the artwork, $375 without the artwork. This knife is $600 on a stand. The stand is a antler stand that I do. This knife here is $600.
I have a question. How do you, when you have one of these booths, how do you display these knives?
I have a trailer set up with a table out in front, and I stand out in front with my knives. I did this 4 years ago,
Don't
and,
you have a locker display?
I'm sorry?